Can you hear?
What is your American dream?
I'm from the Philippines. My American dream is to have a job wherein I can help people to achieve their dreams, which is the most important thing for me.
I'm American. I was born in New York, and my American dream is to constantly learn and grow and use whatever God's given me to help as many people as I can.
I'm from Belgium, and my American dream is to bring laughter and joy into people's lives through comedy.
My family background is West Indian with roots in Curacao, Guyana, and Puerto Rico. My American dream is to live in a country where everybody loves and respects one another.
My background is Irish and African American. My American dream would be to make enough to live a happy and fulfilling life.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. All right!
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then, Mr. Squeeze.
Welcome to the Brad and Squeeze Show, 93.5 FM, Facebook Live, Brad and Squeeze Show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We just have to kill the music and we'll be good again.
I'm just looking at your outfit today.
You know what?
All right,
the top actually should have come off.
By the way, you're in a hoodie. You have your winter coat on your chair behind you. You couldn't even leave it
on the floor somewhere.
On the floor.
So
Can you
nobody
put it
will
off
see.
so no one can see it? Come on. What is wrong with you, man? What are we looking at, by the way, Mr. Camera Operator? There we go. Much better. Much better, Squeeze.
Look.
And then you can, who's calling you? Oh, why don't you take his call?
All right.
Take his call.
Hey, what's up, Shags?
Yeah, Shaggy decides to call.
Yeah, but if I hear one.
He says, no, it wasn't me, Squeeze, last night.
It was me.
It was him. Does he realize we do a show between 9 and 10?
I'll hit you right back after 10.
Yeah. We're live on the show. Does he want to say hello to him?
All right, no problem.
Why doesn't he Skype back in? Tell him to Skype in.
Skype in?
Yeah, Skype in. Have the conversation. Call him back. Say, Skype in. What's up?
All
right. Well, you get Shaggy to Skype in. Yeah. I'm going to tell everybody that the Supreme Court has given Donald Trump. That was really Shaggy, the artist. That was really him.
Because Shaggy and Friends is coming up.
Yeah. So he's trying to get that all organized.
Everybody needs to understand that it's a very good cause.
It's a huge thing.
Huge.
I just saw the publicity thing. Like they give the sheet out. And Sting's going to be there. Wyclef Jean. Mm-hmm. Who else? There was some other really top.
It's a big.
Fetty Wap was going to be there. Yeah, so a big thing, and it's the end of January in Jamaica. And by the way, if you haven't shared our page, the best thing you can do is press the little arrow button that goes like this and say share to your friends and family. It goes right on your timeline, and you can help share our show with everybody who needs help, not just in immigration, but legal work, or just needs a good chuckle in the morning. 1-800-529-5465 is the number to call. So here's some good news. Well, it's not really good news. I was actually being ironic.
Okay.
All right. It's always bad news when it comes to Donald Trump. The Supreme Court. You want to hear all of Donald Trump's bad news? We should have a segment. Bad news brought to you by Donald Trump.
Honestly, I really don't want to hear anything about Donald Trump.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Like we have all segments, like this is called Shooting the Breeze, we should have, and it's always brought to you by somebody. Okay, I think the bad news should be brought to you by Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. Supreme Court gives Trump's travel ban a green light. So now, after it was blocked by some lower courts, people from Libya, Iran, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen cannot come to the United States. The Supreme Court has given Donald Trump ban on certain Muslim countries the green light. Do not quite understand their reasoning. There was no reasoning behind it. It was just overturned, move on, without any reasoning behind it. There you have it. Okay. More bad news brought to you by Donald Trump, Mr. Annakie.
I'm listening to you.
Have you ever been to Utah? It's a beautiful desert. They have monuments, a lot of land protection. Back from Bill Clinton protected the land. Teddy Roosevelt, a very famous Republican, was the first environmentalist.
Lots of Mormons.
Was the
religious
first
community.
Was the first environmentalist. Mm-hmm. Okay, that once you don't protect the lands, you never get it back ever again. Ever. It doesn't come back again. You can't just start allowing people to build and get rid of the natural habitats of animals and plants. It doesn't return, squeeze.
Okay.
So knowing all of this, okay, knowing the history of even Republicans protecting our great monuments and our great lands, all the way going back to Teddy Roosevelt, Donald Trump has decided to shrink the Utah monuments. Federally protected land is being shrunk by 220,000 acres. Trump's decision to roll back federal protections is unprecedented in presidential power in the United States. Trump said the previous administrations abused the purpose, spirit, intent of what is known as the Antiquities Act. The Antiquities Act was passed during Teddy Roosevelt, who was very famous environmentalist and very famous for being the opposite of Trump. You know, talk slowly and talk low, but carry a big stick.
No. Speak softly.
Speak softly.
Speak softly.
Carry a big stick.
Carry a big stick.
Right.
Big stick.
That was what he said.
Yes,
correct.
that's what he said.
I had to go back into my memory of history.
No, that's why you got me.
Yes. Speak softly. Carry a
brain.
big stick. Donald Trump, on the other hand.
Pinky, and the brain.
Correct. Donald Trump, on the other hand. Yeah. Donald Trump, on the other hand, squeeze, speaks very loudly and apparently has a small stick. Although he claims he has big hands. But I'm telling you, he just is big bluster. A lot of bluster. Meanwhile, more bad news brought to you by Donald Trump. Okay? The news just gets worse and worse, brought to you by Donald Trump. He has officially, from his Air Force One, because he had to do it from Air Force One, has officially endorsed...
That's his airplane.
Yes, that's his airplane. Has officially endorsed Roy Moore, squeeze.
Yeah, he did.
Roy Moore.
He did that from last week.
The pedophile. Roy Moore is the Senate nominee Republican in Alabama. The election is going to be on December 12th, which is a week away. He has endorsed Roy Moore. Roy Moore has been accused of improper sexual conduct with multiple women from the ages of 14 to 17 years old. He is, by all accounts, a pedophile, which is probably one of the lowest things you could be accused of in life.
So why is this guy not brought up on charges?
I don't know yet.
You're an attorney. Come on, you can
Probably because there's maybe statute of limitations issues because these are all accusations from 30 years ago. Perhaps. I don't know. I am not familiar with the Alabama Penal Code, but this all happened in Alabama. But to reiterate, squeeze, to make it very clear, the choices in Alabama. Are you listening, Alabama? There is a Democrat by the name of Doug Jones. He was a prosecutor who, besides not being a pedophile, which basically is all you need to know, okay? All he has to do is run and say, I'm not a pedophile. vote for me. I mean, that's really the decision there. But besides being able to claim he's not a pedophile, Doug Jones, a Democrat, he also prosecuted 30 years later as the district attorney in Alabama, the 16th Street Baptist Church bomber that killed 4 young black girls in the 1960s. It was a cold case, and here are the girls who got killed. It was a cold case, and obviously it was a racist situation that happened in the 1960s. It was a cold case. Nobody touched the case. Nobody prosecuted it. Nobody investigated it. And 35 years later, he was the one who dug this case up, said somebody has to come to justice, prosecuted it, and the person went away to jail for life, okay, for killing these 4 young black girls. So these are your choices, okay? A prosecutor who has gone back 30 years back to prosecute racial injustice, okay, walks the walk, talks the talk, or a guy who has sexually molested, by all accounts, multiple girls between the ages of 14 and 17. These are the choices that Donald Trump had.
That one has.
Or Donald Trump, or one has in Alabama. And all I have to say is, come on, Alabama! Don't make me want to look at your map and vomit in my mouth if this guy wins. I don't know how anybody could possibly vote for him. I have no idea how Donald Trump could possibly say, vote for the guy. It's amazing how politics, we need his vote, we need his vote.
That's it.
You know, at some point, we don't need pedophiles. At some point, we don't need pedophiles. Squeeze.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of news here. Lots of news. What do you want to do here?
I just want to go help some people with their immigration problems.
You want to help people with their immigration problems. Yeah. So you don't. There's more bad news brought to you by Donald Trump.
I've had it with Donald Trump.
You've had it with Donald Trump.
Yeah. I need 2 things right now. I need first to actually go answer questions on immigration, and I need for people to share our pages. And by the way, the Facebook page is called Brad and Squeeze Show. Make sure you check that out. And also, of course, you can catch us on 93.5.
Why are you so
Sombersome?
Sombersome.
Is that it?
Lackadaisical
Monotone?
today.
No, not lackadaisical. It's too strong.
You are. Why are you slumbering? You seem like you're in a slumber today.
No, I'm not.
I'm wide awake.
No, you're yelling.
I know, and you are.
Not
you're
yelling.
the one who's supposed to be yelling, and I'm supposed to be the one who's more cerebral.
Why is it that the black man has to be the one yelling?
I don't know, because that's how it's been for 20 years with me and you. It has nothing to do with black man or white man. All right, let's go to Mary in Atlanta. Mary in Atlanta, 1-800-529-5465. How are you, Mary?
Mary, how is ATL?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I'm calling. I have a question. I have a case. I'm a green card holder since 2007, but had an issue in 2010, which I was charged with child abuse and assault, and the case ended with a second-degree assault misdemeanor, which was a sentence of 364 days probation and suspended and then probation. But when I was arrested, when the issue happened, I was in jail for 5 days pending
All right, so
bond.
Stop. All right, stop right now. You got your green card in what year?
2000. It was issued 2008, but it says resident since 2007.
When was this arrest?
2010.
Okay, so 2 years after you got your green card, there was some sort of assault on a minor in which you said you received 306. I was listening, Squeeze. 364 days jail sentence. The rest was suspended, or you received a suspended jail sentence of 364 days. What was it?
Well, it says the sentence says 364 days
Suspended.
Suspended.
Okay,
and
very
then
good.
it says 364 days probation.
When did you come to the United States? When did you enter the United States?
2002.
2000. How did you come to the United States?
I'm an asylee.
You're an asylee. All right.
Yeah.
Well, what you pled guilty to is a crime of moral turpitude, okay? And you probably had a smart criminal defense attorney, because what the key thing was is that if you pled guilty to 365 days in jail suspended sentence, which would have been basically the same sentence for you, and you would have done 5 days in jail, but they would have said 365 days suspended, and you only did 5 days in jail, that would have been an aggravated felony. Because if you are sentenced to more than 1 year in jail, whether you actually do the jail time or not, okay, whether you do the jail time or not, that is aggravated felony in an assault. You were sentenced to 300. You were sentenced to 364 days, so it's a crime of moral turpitude. Now, it is more than 5 years later. Okay, I assume that you've been a person of good moral character since then, correct?
Yes, to the best of my knowledge. Well, yes, I have been. I don't have any issues.
Right.
I'm not a troublesome person. That was just a one-time situation.
So what we want to do, okay? What we want to do now is we want to take a look at that criminal record, make sure what you're saying to us is correct, and then discuss perhaps you filing your citizenship. The key thing we got to remember to becoming a citizen is we don't want to do anything that's going to actually put you in deportation, and then you're going to lose your deportation rights. But it's only a crime of moral turpitude. It's not an aggravated felony. You have 5 years good moral character right now. You entered the United States in 2002, so this happened more than 7 years after you entered the United States. You've had a green card for more than 5 years. You have 5 years. Excuse me.
What's going on over there?
You have 5 years good moral character. So I would suggest that we have a discussion after looking at this case further about citizenship. So hold on 1 second, okay? Now the other thing is you're in Atlanta. The other thing is this, you're in Atlanta. Atlanta is the worst place to do anything with immigration. It is absolutely the world's worst immigration office. They have the lowest approval ratings. They have the hardest judges. It's horrible, Atlanta. Nice city, horrible for immigration. So hold on 1 second. Hold on one second.
So what can I also have actually I already attempted applying for citizenship last year because I was calculating it from when the crime happened.
I would not, Mary. I would not ever file citizenship on your own without consulting an attorney, especially when you have this.
I consulted an attorney, unfortunately.
So you unfortunately you did? Well, maybe unfortunately you consulted the wrong attorney, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what I should say.
All right. So what happened with your citizenship?
Well, it was denied, and the officer claimed that the crime was 104 days sentence, which I don't know if they are now adding the 5 days I was in jail to the 364 days. I don't know where she got that 104 days from, but that's what she said on the denial letter. And then she said lack of good moral character.
All right. I'm not going to solve your problem on this show. Okay, you need a consultation. All right, but that's why I said I got to look at. So you're saying to me, the officer said my conviction is different than what I'm describing right now. Okay? I don't know because I don't have any of your criminal records in front of me, which is why I'm saying you need a consultation, which is why I always tell everybody they need a consultation, because what you think you pled guilty to and what you're looking at may be correct, or it may be that immigration is correct, and I don't know the answer right now because I got nothing in front of me. Okay? Two rules to come from this.
And what is that?
Okay. One is you never do anything with immigration without going through all of your records with a really good immigration attorney, like myself. And two, there is no way in the world any immigration attorney can tell you what's going on, no matter how much you describe to me over this show, about your past record without actually looking at the record. It's like calling a doctor squeeze and saying, I went to this, hi Brad, I know you're a medical doctor in New York, and I went to this medical doctor in Atlanta, and he took an x-ray and he says my leg's broken. Can you operate on me? Most doctors would say, okay, can I see the x-ray first before I schedule the operation?
You think?
So,
Right.
so it's the same thing.
And it
So,
would be a
yeah.
wrong move to travel out of the country at
Do
this
not
time,
travel.
right?
Do not travel. Do not travel. Don't do anything. Don't pass go. Don't do nothing. Okay? Just hold on 1 second, okay?
Thank you.
All right. By the way, Squeeze, and the telephone number is 1-800-529-5465. I just read an article that everybody's been playing Monopoly wrong.
Okay.
You know, like when you play Monopoly and you land on Park Place, and you say, I don't want to buy Park Place. And then the game goes on forever. If you don't buy Park Place and you land on it, it's supposed to go up for auction to everybody else. So that way, by the time everybody goes around the board, all the properties are sold and the game would go a lot faster. My biggest problem with Monopoly is it went on forever. Nobody would ever win. Nobody. The only person who would win is the banker, and it seemed like that's like how real life works.
Or your friend.
What? You would always win in Monopoly?
Your friend.
Who's my friend?
DT.
Who's DT?
I don't want to say his name.
DT? I don't know who DT is. Oh, Donald Trump.
What are you smoking?
I'm thinking, who's my friend DT?
I thought I'm supposed to be the summer
Yeah,
You don't know.
All right, 1-800-529-5465. Shireen in Waterbury. Shireen,
Hi, good morning. How are you?
how are you?
I'm good. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Steve, good morning, Steve.
Don't worry, I've been called worst. Good morning.
His name is
I'd like to
Squeeze.
know.
His name is Squeeze.
Don't worry about it, my darling.
But you can call him
You can call me
Steve.
anything, just don't call me
My
late
name
for
is
dinner.
Brad. This is Squeeze. We have Shireen from
Please,
Waterbury.
yeah, my bad.
No problem.
That's
Shireen,
okay.
what's your question?
I'd like to know, can you file violence against women and still live with the person?
You can, but that's going to be really difficult to prove that you're abused spouse and you're still living with the person. Why would you be, well, let me ask you this. Besides the fact of, just an immigration, if you are really being physically abused and emotionally abused to an extreme level, why would you be living with somebody and continue that abuse?
It was just a question. I'm asking for a friend.
Okay, the answer would be you can do whatever you want, but that would be what everybody would be asking. A, just from your own safety point of view, and B, there would be a lot of, what is the BS meter going off?
Yeah.
The BS meter, Squeeze?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be a lot of that going off at the immigration service. Okay?
Okay.
I think, honestly, though, you should really get
But
help.
if you are being abused, there's no reason
Yeah.
to. The purpose of the law for the Violence Against Women's Act, the purpose of the law is to allow people to be able to get a green card and not have to suffer in a home where there is abuse happening. That is the purpose of the law. So you would actually be frustrating the purpose of the law and you'd be putting your life in jeopardy. So, that's the answer.
All right?
Okay.
Sheree? All right. By the way, Squeeze, I forgot to tell her she's in Waterbury. We have our office, our soft opening,
So Waterbury is approximately 30 minutes from
30
where-
minutes from Hartford.
Yeah.
Our soft opening is Monday. I was told, I don't understand what a soft opening is versus a hard opening. Okay, but I'm told by Lenny that a soft opening means we're just there. But we're not going like this whole, razzle-dazzle production. No big scissors going, aha, da 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 da.
I think once you're open, you're open.
I'm just told it's a soft opening. 1-800-529-5465. By the way, leave your questions right now on our Facebook page on the Brad and Squeeze Show, because right after we speak to David from Brooklyn, New York, we are going to be going to our social media queen, and we are going to be answering all your immigration questions that you leave on the comment section of our Facebook page at the Brad and Squeeze Show. So leave your questions right now, because your answers to your Facebook questions are coming in about 2 minutes right after we speak with David from Brooklyn. David.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
Good morning, David.
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. What's up?
Good, David.
Okay. I have a question. I had my status was readjusted through my wife, and years ago, and now I want to get a divorce from her. Will that affect my status?
How long have you had a green card?
It was just readjusted 2 years ago.
What do you mean readjusted? You adjusted your stat. There's no such thing as readjustment. Let's just get clear what happened here so I can give you some good advice. You adjusted your status. I assume you got a 2-year conditional green card. Is that correct?
No, it's not a conditional, but I had a green card before, but then I got into some problems and I had to readjust.
I understand. Okay, so
status.
you lost your green card. You were in some sort of deportation process,
Yeah.
and then you got married in deportation, and then you got your green card back again. And that was how long ago? What year?
About 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago. Now, when you got your green card, did they give you a 2-year conditional green card, or they gave you a 10-year permanent green card?
A 10-year permanent green card.
Okay. So as long as you have a 10-year permanent green card and you have some evidence that at some point after you got your green card, you and your spouse were still together, you do not have to stay in an unhappy marriage. You're free to get divorced, by all means. Nobody tells you have to stay unhappily married.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Hold on. By the way, we have a pretty good matrimonial department, and I see you live in Brooklyn, and Megan loves divorces in Brooklyn. She's awesome at it. She's awesome at it also in Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island, Nassau, Westchester, all of New York State.
Yes.
Hold on one second.
Once again, folks, the number here is 1-800-529-5465. It's 28 minutes after the hour. This is the Brad and Squeeze Show. Of course, partnering with USA Credit Repair. Do remember to check them out at usacreditrepair.com. And once again, we're here, so make sure you place your questions on the social media page, Brad and Squeeze. We will be going there now. So call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. We're going to social media queen. Her name is Kim Moore, and this segment is proudly also brought to you by the Shaggy Make a Difference Foundation.
Shaggy.
Make a Difference Foundation with Shaggy and Friends.
Because he didn't want to come on Skype with us.
Who says that?
I don't know. Is that being set up right now?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'll tell you that
we're hoping.
Well, but I'm telling you that there's going to be a great show on January the 6th featuring, you know who Shaggy is.
I certainly heard of the band.
Have you heard of Sting?
I heard of him.
Do you ever heard of Wyclef Jean?
Roxanne.
Do you heard of Fetty Wap?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got them all.
Idona, Third World, Bungie Garlic, Christopher Martin, Dougie Fresh, Shaka Libas, Lawrence Conscience, Barrington Levy.
The first 4.
Shensi.
The first 4 I have.
Wayne Wonder.
I have
Capleton.
I have on my playlist.
Ding Dong.
All 4 are on my playlist.
Sayan Land.
Ding Dong, I don't know. I hated Ding Dong when I was a kid. It's like a yodel.
Dexter
but I don't
Ducks.
know who Ding Dong is.
Marcia Griffiths.
That I know.
Professor Nuts.
Marcia Griffiths did this song with the dance, you know, right?
What is it called? Electric Slide.
Electric Slide, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great.
Right.
All right. It's going to be wonderful.
Let's go to social media queen.
Okay. Social media queen. All right. So once again, folks, make sure. There she goes.
Hello! Social media queen is very upset because she heard that we may go to Shaggy and Friends.
Right.
All right, the Brad and Squeeze Show, but social media queen will be left behind. We're
really?
Terribly sorry, social media queen.
That's not what she told me.
Somebody has to stay behind, and unfortunately.
She asked me who's staying at my house. I'm like, nobody. So can I stay in one of the rooms?
No, she has to stay back. Sorry, social media queen. Next trip.
You are going to Jamaica.
Next trip. So what do we got on social media? Let's go for it.
Okay, here we go. Candy would like to know if a father is out on permanent disability and getting SSI for the child, and the mother works and pays taxes for the child, can the father file taxes for the child, or does the mother? I think she asked this yesterday as well.
Only one. There's no such thing as filing taxes for child. What the question is who is the dependent? Who gets to list the child as a dependent on their tax returns? And it's what is the facts behind it? Is the child dependent on one mother, or is the child dependent on the father? Where's the child living? Who's raising this child? That's really the bottom line. Just whatever the truth is, that's who's the dependent. So I will give it as an example again. In my life, I am divorced, as social media queen is aware, right? Okay.
Yes.
So my children live. What?
Is that rhetorical, or are you asking?
It was rhetorical. Okay. So my children predominantly, although I'm a very good father and they see them every weekend, but they predominantly live with the mother. So on my tax returns, I do not list my children as dependents, although I'm paying, astronomical sum of child support. The mother is, because that's where the children live.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's as much tax as I know. After that, I got to go to Carmela. All right, next question.
Tanisha would like to know, what's the best way to do an adoption if you're here but the child is in Jamaica? The mom and dad have both died. What can I do?
You have to file an orphan petition. You have to allow the Jamaican.
Stop. We have to file an orphan.
We have to file. Help you file an orphan
There
petition.
you
got to get the Jamaican Adoption Board, which is now called somebody else, the Child Development something or other, down in Jamaica to allow you to take this child to immigrate to the United States. You just can't go down to Jamaica and just pick a child off the street who doesn't have parents and just bring them to America. You have to get the government has some sort of say in this, the Jamaican government. So they have to give you permission to take this orphan child. So you do that through what was formerly known as the Jamaican Adoption Board, and I just keep going blank on their new name. And in the same time, you have to go to your local county court here and do what's called the pre-adoption. The United States will allow you to bring a child to America as an orphan if, in fact, you could legally adopt them here in America. The United States does not want children coming to America that ultimately that you will never be able to adopt. So you have to do a pre-adoption here in the United States in whatever county you live in, and a judge says, yeah, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but the judge would say something to the effect of, yes, when this child comes to America, this child is an orphan, we've checked out this family is cool, and I will sign the adoption decree. And then you do an orphan petition and bring the child up.
Got it.
We need an egg timer for me. This is far from rapid.
You notice I have nothing to say?
This is far from rapid. This is like a musket right now. You know, like rapid fires go ba 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 ba. This is more like, all right, let's take the bullet, reload. You know, all right, let's go.
Carlene would like to know, and this is another sad one, an 8-year-old cousin of mine in Jamaica, her mom passed away 3 weeks ago, her father died 2 weeks later. Wow. Now I'd like to adopt her even though she's just my cousin. How can I go about doing that?
Same exact process, okay? Get permission from the Jamaican government. We help you do that. You do a pre-adoption here. The child can be here in 7-8 months if we do this really fast.
And right.
And right. The worst thing you can do, what you never do, is go down to Jamaica or whatever country unless they're part of the Hague Convention. Jamaica's not part of the Hague Convention, but there's other countries that are. We're talking about non-Hague Convention countries. You don't go and do an adoption in that country because you'll never get the kid here.
And what is the Hague Convention?
That is a UN treaty where countries agree to certain requirements to do an adoption and bring orphans across borders. And if a country is part of that treaty, then the U.S. government knows that they're doing the right thing by their orphans.
Okay. Well said.
Shelley would like to know, my husband is a U.S. citizen and a veteran who got hurt on the job. He's filing for my 3 kids and me. Our priority date is the 19th of July of this year. When my husband called USCIS yesterday, they told him that they just reached February. Does that make any sense to you? Is it a problem?
No, it's not a problem. They're just really slow these days, but eventually you'll get here sometime in 2018 with your kids.
Justine would like to know, I'm in overstay status for 2 years now, but I'd like to travel to New York from Florida. I plan to go to New York for New Year's Eve. Can I travel by flying?
Yes.
Deschanel would like to know, my cousin got married a little over 60 days after her now husband came to the U.S. They have an interview later this month. Do you think there's going to be a problem?
Yes, they better get a lawyer.
Dolly would like, yep.
Nobody listens
that
to Squeeze.
90-day mark.
Nobody. Yep, continue.
Dolly would like to know, if someone has a felony and has to renew their green card, is that going to be a problem?
Yes. Better get a lawyer. Nobody listens to Squeeze.
Nobody.
We got lots of problems today.
Yes.
Lee would like to know, when I'm coming back from Jamaica with my disposition, how do I present that to the immigration officer?
You present your green card and passport, and if they ask you about prior arrests, you say, oh, I have the disposition. And hopefully that disposition, when you show it, doesn't put you in deportation. It's a disposition where the case was dismissed. If it's anything other than the case was dismissed, I wouldn't be traveling and I'd be speaking to me.
Yeah, you're handing them the nail in your coffin.
Exactly. Yeah. Can you take the gun and shoot me, please?
Akanya would like to know, I'm having a baby with Medicare. Is that going to affect my filing?
No, because the Medicare is for the child, not for you. You should be okay.
Moya would like to know, I am in an F3 category and my mom filed for me in 2008. How long do I have left to wait on the filing?
3 more years.
3 more years. Connie would like to know, can someone file VAWA and still be living with that person?
We answered that question. She called the first question, and the answer is, why would you be doing that?
I thought so, and she gave a different name. Yeah. Justine said, my father's 10-year green card has expired. What does he have to do to apply for citizenship?
And
can he file for my siblings in Jamaica?
Can he file for what?
For the siblings in Jamaica.
He can file for his siblings in Jamaica once. I don't know whose siblings we're talking about, the father's siblings or his children?
The question asker, so it would be his children.
His children he can file for now as long as they're unmarried, and he should. And when he becomes a citizen, upgrade it. If the children are married, you got to wait on citizenship. Citizenship's done on an N400 application.
Perfect. And Violet wanted you to know that the adoption agency in Jamaica is the Child's Development Agency.
Yes, I said there was child something or other. Thank you very much, Violet. Child Development Agency. I got to get that member in my head. I don't know why I keep forgetting it. Child Development Agency, Child Development Agency, Child Development Agency, Child Development Agency. All right, got it in my head. I'll never forget it now. Thank you very much.
Because for the past 4 years, you've not gotten it.
I haven't gotten it because I used to do this all the time, and I was always speaking to the Jamaican Adoption Board. So now it's same people, same offices, the same process. They just changed the name on me. All right. Thank you very much, social media queen. 1-800-529-5465. By the way, Squeeze, we had met up with a really great American success story. A guy came from St. Lucia. He's a chef. He's very famous. He's now called a celebrity chef. His name is Chef Shorne Benjamin, and we want to check out his story. It's kind of cool.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's check that out.
Back in St. Lucia in the islands, those memories are vivid. Going to the beach for the first time, seeing my father show me how to crack an almond. He was brave enough to take that opportunity, that voyage to come to New York, and my mom was with me. When he got in citizenship, he could have filed for me on his own rightful way. He applied for her. The absence of my parents, it kind of lost some things in me where I'm the only kid that don't have their mother or father Mother's Day to celebrate. I remember so well where I actually prayed that someday that I could have my mom and my father again. Yes, my parents were not there, but I had a rock and a solid person in my grandmother. She was amazing. She was the icon in the community with her restaurants, her bakery. My grandma taught me in the kitchen when I was young, pretty young, like 8, 7, pretty much. Things in my life that that hurt me was the passing of my grandmother. I guess you're a kid, like your grandma was your world, and now she's not there. My mom called me, and my father's like, "Are you all right? Do you want to come to New York?" I had to go to the neighboring island of Barbados to do my medical, to get my visa, my green card application. It was like extensive testing for different diseases. I was excited and scared at the same time. I remember leaving, it was New Year's Eve. Imagine that, coming to a new world. I remember that flight, man, it was a thunderstorm. It was like tons of empty seats, and we're in the sky rocking like crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, am I gonna die? Eventually I land, and it was January 1st, 1999.
2, 1, happy 1999!
To be reunited with them was amazing. I mean, everyone came out onto the airport to greet me. I got the speech from my father and my mom. Okay, you have a green card, which gives you access to be legal, to work, everything here. But ultimately, it's to become a citizen. And to do that, you cannot be in no trouble. You can't even be arrested because they could deport you. You have 5 years just to be a good standing citizen. And I pursued to get a job. You have no references, no experiences. You pretty much have a number. That's it, a social security number. So went to college, networking, and I finally got a job doing mail work at a bank. Worked there for 2 years, and I made my way up. Something about me coming to New York was so fascinating. It was about food and culture. You go into fancy restaurants and you're back in your mind, it's like you go back to your Caribbean culture, like, how come there's no Caribbean place to go like this? On my lunch break one day, I went to check out different culinary schools, and my whole question to them was like, what's like a salary for a chef? And they're like, starting salary is probably you get $10, $11 an hour. I'm like, what? I'm taking a major pay cut if I pursue this. And it came to terms when the economy was failing and it was more like a recession. Never went through this, it was scary. And I got laid off from my job. I went back to the Caribbean to rethink myself and to reinvent myself as a chef. I said, you know what? It makes me happy and I will pursue it. And I enrolled in the French Institute of Culinary, which was down in Soho. My mom was like telling me, are you sure? My father was saying, sure. I said, you know what? This is my chance. I was the only Caribbean guy there, and their style was Italian, French, and I'm like coming with my traditional grandmother ways in me, in my mind. Eventually I caught on, and from then different levels in the culinary program was amazing. And I actually had a job before I left culinary school, which was sweet. Because my severance pay was over, my employment had run out, and I got my $11 an hour, which I was very grateful for. It dawned on me where, you know what, I've learned so much from French, American, Italian. Why not incorporate it in my Caribbean cuisine? And people were talking about it like crazy. Who is this new chef? I got that title where it was Celebrity Chef. I'm happy that I had a good foundation from my grandmother. It's like I'm reinventing myself in her way where she's actually used to feed people that used to come to St. Lucia tourists. Now I'm in the culinary world, I'm doing the same thing. I found my purpose in life and it's allowed me to achieve my dream of being a chef and one day probably owning my own restaurant. How could I fault my parents for leaving me and migrating to the US? It helped me to embrace my purpose and my dream.
Prior successful results do not guarantee similar outcome. I just believe it's great. It's fabulous to see Shorne, sharing his American dream with everyone, and that's what we want to see more of.
And it's great that you can see somebody came.
Right.
He said he had nothing. His father said, "Stay out of trouble." He had he said he earned him. I had a social security number, nothing, no job training, no nothing. And, nobody says it's easy. Nobody says anything's given to you. But congratulations, Shorne. He did it. He reached his American dream.
Yeah. And as we would say, big up, much respect to all the St. Lucians.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Who have accomplished or still working on their American dream.
You ever go to Jade Mountain?
No, I have not.
I heard my friend
I have
went.
been to St. Lucia.
I know, but I heard in Jade Mountain, that hotel there, my friend just came back, said it was off the charts.
Yeah, everyone's talking about Jade Mountain.
Yeah. In
any event, once again, folks, this is the Brad and
Maybe
Squeeze
got
Show.
destroyed by the hurricane.
All right.
That was he didn't just come back. It was about 9 months ago.
So we're trying to hit a record here. I need people to share the page right now. We just need about 18 more people to actually just share the page right now. Only 18 more people that we need to share the page. We have a little bet going on here. So call us, 1-800-529-5465. We're going to go to this call and then we come back again with some more questions from social media. The number is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. And we want for you to share the Facebook page called Brad and Squeeze. And this segment of our programming is brought to you by USA Credit Repair. Let's go to the line. Just remember to go to usacreditrepairinc.com to find out more. Hello.
Karen in Atlanta, Georgia. How are you?
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. What's up?
All right. So I have a question. A year and a half ago, I came here as a J1 student in the States. and then after my J1 expired, I changed my status to B2, and it expired on, I think, November, and then I filed another case for B2, and it's still pending right now.
You filed another case. What was the case that you filed in November?
For B2, so
and
it's
another
like my
extension.
second B2.
Second B2.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. So I was just wondering, because I'm really tired of paying like $370 for like 6 months and stuff. So I was just wondering, what are the better chances that I could get a green card, or like, how, without like getting married? Is there like any way I could get a green card?
Get sponsored in a job.
Or something
Get
else?
sponsored in a job.
That's
whenever anyone says, "How do I get a green card?" Get sponsored in a job. It takes 18 months. Get sponsored by family. I have books and books and books of ways to get green cards, but I can't. There is no way. I can never help somebody, no matter as much as you want to be helped. There is no possible way I can help somebody and say, "Hey, I need a green card. How do you help me?" I have no idea. We would need to sit down. I would need to take a look at your visa. I don't even know if you have a 2-year home residence requirement. I would have to go. I would have to go through your entire history, see what you have going for you. Maybe you have an employer or a potential employer who can sponsor you. Maybe not. Maybe you violated your visa status by working illegally. Maybe you did. I don't know any of this stuff, and I would have to sit down for a good 20 minutes with you, literally asking you questions before I can give you every possibility and every option. And I could almost assure you that probably 1 out of every 4 people who come to see me, I come up with some weird way to help them, and they're like, "Nobody ever told this to me before." Now, sometimes people, it turns out that people are like, "I knew this," and I'm like, "Well, we don't know this until we actually meet you." So, the answer to how do I get a green card starts with hold on and make a consultation with us.
There you go.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Once again, folks, the Brad and Squeeze Show. The number here is 1-800-529-5465. Must remind you that this, of course, is a full-service law firm. And, of course, we've got a criminal defense attorney, personal injury attorney, family law, tax law, and obviously immigration. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465.
All right, so we have a Braducation segment, Squeeze, and then we're going to get back to our social media queen, Kim Moore, who's in our social media room. So if you do have immigration questions or any legal questions, leave them on our Facebook page right now at the Brad and Squeeze Show. Before we get to our Braducation segment, I do want to remind everybody that we are partnered here with USA Credit Repair. If your credit is below 700, you should give them a call right now. I said this the other day, I used to make fun of USA Credit Repair when I didn't really know what they did, and I'm like, all right, ha 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 ha, I'm forced to do this, blah, 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 blah. But you want to know what? I've heard so many great stories now about USA Credit Repair. People coming in and saying, "Brad, I went to that USA Credit Repair. They really helped me." So really now, I'm getting really great feedback. So in all good conscience, I can't possibly sit there and go, "Oh, I'm forced to do this. I have to do this." No, I want to do this now because I'm hearing that they're helping people. So the best way, if your credit is below 700, don't be like, I wonder what. You have no choice. Call USA Credit Repair. Why don't you have a choice? Because you can't do business if your credit is below 700. You're going to have trouble buying homes, getting cars. People don't take you seriously. People check your credit for everything. They don't take you as a serious person if your credit's below 700. So the best thing you can do is you call USA Credit Repair. I hear story after story, people coming in and thanking me for introducing them to USA Credit Repair from our show. So it's not a if your credit's below 700, maybe you should do this. No, if your credit's below 700, you have no choice. Call USA Credit right now at 1-800-872-7177. And the reason why you have no choice, Squeeze, is they make it very simple for you. The first 30 days is free. You don't even have to answer any citizenship question. Just say, "I heard it from Brad and Squeeze." First 30 days free. End of story. And they will start dealing with your credit and raising it. And what they also do is this. If you follow their protocol, you follow what they tell you to do, they guarantee you in 90 days your credit's up or money back. So you got absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. If your credit goes up after 90 days, whatever you paid them is money back in your pocket with better credit. It's a win-win. So call USA Credit Repair right now if your credit's below 700. It's 1-800-872-7177. That's 1-800-872-7177. 1-800-USA-7177. They are proud partners here at the Brad and Squeeze Show. With that being said, Squeeze, how was that?
Pretty good.
Thank you. With that being said, we have a Braducation segment, and then I want everybody to leave your questions on Facebook. We're going to go back to our social media queen, Kim, for the end of our show in about 1 minute. Leave all your questions right now. We're going to be answering them in 1 minute, but let's watch our Braducation.
What happens when my TPS expires?
When your TPS expires, unfortunately, you go back to whatever position you were prior to you getting TPS. So if you were on a student visa and you got TPS, then presumably you would go back to student visa status. If you were on TPS and you were out of status when you got your TPS, then you would fall back out of status. If you were already previously ordered deported and you got TPS, and TPS is over, you would go back to having an order of deportation and perhaps even a warrant out for your arrest. Every person who is on TPS should figure out what they're going to do once TPS expires and not wait for that time to happen.
The Braducation segment.
Yeah.
You learn something from that.
Learn something from that every day.
Why don't you expound a little bit on the whole TPS
Yeah,
thing?
by the way, TPS, that's really right now, Haitians and Hondurans, their TPS is going to expire very, very shortly. So if you're from Honduras or you're from Haiti, you do not walk, you do not skip, you do not hop, you run right over to Spar and Bernstein because we got to help you before your TPS expires. You don't want to fall back to something.
Very important.
And there's a lot of people, especially from Haiti, who have TPS, who have orders of deportation. Those orders are going to be enforced by your friend.
My friend?
Okay.
No.
You called him my friend earlier.
I mean, he is your friend.
Yeah.
You get up and you speak about him every day.
Well, just because it's bad news. He's bad news friend. You know, like you have some bad news friends?
Bad news friend.
Bad news friends. I would go to Arthur, except my computer is frozen. There we go. Okay. All right, let's go to Arthur. Let's go to Arthur, and then we're going to go to Kim in our social media room. Arthur from Orlando, Florida.
How you doing, Arthur?
Hey,
how are you?
Fine, and you?
Good. What's up?
Wonderful, sir, Arthur.
I'm trying to. I was wondering about getting some representation to get my fiance from Jamaica over to America.
Wonderful. You're calling the right place. Representation for fiance to America. You start today. She'll be here in 9 months, and then you guys can get married the next day. Hold on. How's that for a quick rapid fire?
1-800-529-5465.
Let's see social media queen Kim, what she's got on our Facebook page. Hello,
Miss Moore.
All right, we got 4 minutes. Let's rapid fire.
Rapid fire it. Dolly asks, if you're a U.S. citizen with a 2-year probation misdemeanor, will that be a problem to travel abroad, or will it stay on your record?
It is a problem to travel with any conviction. You should not travel with any conviction until you pass it by a very good immigration lawyer.
Extremely important that you understand that, folks.
Allie Berry would like to know, if you become a citizen while you're...
Allie Berry?
Allie Berry.
Allie or Hallie?
Allie.
Allie. Oh, I
Berry.
thought it was Halle Berry. Squeeze.
No.
Yes.
No. I would be much more excited.
Right.
She didn't tell me she was going to call.
Yeah, no. Shaggy called, but Halle Berry didn't call. Yeah. Wasn't that funny? Shaggy calls in the middle of our show.
Yeah. Shaggy.
Pretty typical Brad and Squeeze show day.
Yes,
yeah. Allie Berry would like to know, if you become a citizen, will your under 18 kids automatically become citizens too?
If they live with you and you in your legal and physical custody, and they have green cards, when you become a citizen, they would automatically become a citizen too.
And her follow-up question is, what if you go to your citizenship interview and you don't pass the questions? Are they going to give you another chance to apply?
Yeah, you will. If you don't pass the English portion of your citizenship or the government and civics portion, they will allow you to come back a second time to try to pass it.
Okay. Sean would like to know, he had received a pink slip from immigration and they told him that his co-sponsor did not make enough, but his co-sponsor makes over $30,000 a year and has no dependents, and they're also asking for 3 years worth of taxes. Can you explain this?
you obviously did something wrong, and you don't get a pink slip, by the way. The only time
people always use that.
Yeah, there's no pink slip.
You
do.
Right. It's like there's no detention. There's like the detention slip. Go to the principal. It's called a request for further evidence. It just comes on a pink piece of paper, and the answer is it sounds like you probably did not complete the affidavit of support properly, or you did not submit all of the supporting documents for that affidavit of support, because on that pink slip, it's just basically a computer printout that says a lot of mumbo jumbo that may or may not apply to you particularly. What you got to take away from all of this is you screwed up. And when you screw up, nothing good happens. So until you file back everything to them, it's as if immigration never received your application from the get-go. So now, let's say you're waiting 3 months, 4 months for your work permit. That work permit has not even started to process yet, because you have not submitted a completed application to immigration. So let's say hypothetically now you submit everything back properly, and that's a hypothetical that it would actually be submitted back properly on January 2nd. Count 120 days from January 2nd before you get your work permit. So that's already, you're now in May before you get your work permit. Okay, when you probably filed this back in September. This is why you need good lawyers to make sure stuff like this don't happen. That was not proper English, but you know what I mean.
I get
okay.
Marsha would like to know, I was married 2 years in my marriage and I filed for divorce. My husband has abandoned me now. And I got my divorce lost in February of 2016. Now I'm dating someone who is a little bit older than I am. He's 69 and I'm in my 50s. Do you think that we're going to have a problem when we get married next year?
No, I think that's fine. I think that's fine.
Okay, that just about concludes the SMG.
Sorry, SMG, we're done.
The social media.
That's
social
okay.
Media, SMQ.
SMQ.
We change your name every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
All right.
Very fluid.
For all those people who are still there, make sure to tune into the noon show, and we'll tell you more about that. 1-800-529-5465. And once again, thanks for tuning into the Brad and Squeeze Show on 93.5 and Facebook Live.
Yes, and we'll be back at 12. See you then.
There you go. Let's make it legal. The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465.
What are you doing?